Gaslighting, what it is and what it isn't. I hear this term get thrown around a lot these days, and many people confuse things that are objectively not gaslighting to be gaslighting. So let's dig into the history and what gaslighting actually is. Gaslighting is a form of psychological manipulation in which a person or group makes someone question their own sanity, memory, or perception of reality. This psychological manipulation is often done by denying or distorting the truth, misrepresenting or withholding information. The term gaslighting comes from the 1944 film Gaslight, in which a husband manipulates his wife into believing she is losing her mind. People may use the term gaslighting inappropriately when they accuse someone of intentionally manipulating them when there is no evidence of such behavior. Some situations that people may inaccurately describe as gaslighting include 1. Disagreeing with someone's perception of reality. Just because someone disagrees with another person's perception of reality does not necessarily mean they are gaslighting. Two people can have different perceptions of the same situation. 2. Forgetting or not remembering something. People may mistakenly accuse others of gaslighting when they forget or do not remember an event or conversation. Memory is fallible and people can genuinely forget things. 3. Making a mistake. Similar to forgetting something, people may falsely accuse others of gaslighting when they make a mistake or misunderstand a situation. 4. Having a different opinion. People may sometimes accuse others of gaslighting when they have a different opinion or belief. It is essential to recognize that diverse opinions and beliefs can coexist, and it does not necessarily indicate gaslighting. It is essential to understand what gaslighting is and when it occurs, because it can have severe consequences for the victim's mental health and well-being. People should not misuse the term to describe situations that are not gaslighting, as this can trivialize the experiences of those who have experienced this form of manipulation. While gaslighting is typically a deliberate and intentional behavior, it is possible for someone to inadvertently gaslight another person. One way that someone can unintentionally gaslight another person is by being careless with their words or actions. For example, suppose someone consistently tells another person their feelings are wrong or invalid. In that case, this can lead the other person to doubt themselves and their emotions, even if the person making the comments did not intend to make them feel that way. Another way unintentional gaslighting can occur is when someone has a different perspective or interpretation of an event or situation than the other person. For example, suppose two people witness the same event but have different interpretations of what happened. In that case, these interpretations can lead to confusion and doubt for the person whose perspective is questioned. To move forward and rectify the situation, it's essential for the person who has been gaslighted to recognize what has happened and take steps to address it. These steps involve setting boundaries for themselves with the person who has unintentionally gaslit them, such as speaking up when they feel their emotions or experiences are being invalidated. It can also be helpful to seek support from a therapist or trusted friend to work through the effects of gaslighting and build self-confidence. It's important to note that unintentional gaslighting is still harmful and can have long-term effects on a person's mental health and well-being. Individuals must be aware of their words and actions and their impact on others. Some people may be more prone to being gaslighted than others. Research suggests that individuals with a history of trauma, low self-esteem, or a tendency to second-guess themselves are more vulnerable to gaslighting. One personality trait that can make a person more susceptible to gaslighting is agreeableness. Agreeable individuals prioritize harmony and may be more willing to accept someone else's perspective, even if it contradicts theirs. This willingness to accept someone else's perspective, especially out of concern for the other person's well-being, can make them more vulnerable to manipulation and gaslighting, something I've personally struggled with. Additionally, individuals with high levels of neuroticism may be more prone to self-doubt and more susceptible to gaslighting. If someone is more concerned about the other person's well-being and is willing to take the blame to avoid the other person feeling gaslighted, this can be damaging. This behavior can enable the gaslighter to continue manipulating and invalidating the other person's experiences and feelings, potentially causing further harm to the individual's mental health and well-being. In a healthy relationship, both parties should feel comfortable expressing their feelings and experiences without fear of being invalidated or dismissed. If one person consistently takes the blame to avoid conflict or protect the other person's feelings, this can create an unhealthy power dynamic that can be difficult to break. Individuals in this situation must prioritize their well-being and seek support from a therapist or trusted friend. A therapist can help the individual develop healthy communication strategies and set boundaries with the gaslighter to protect themselves from further harm. It's also crucial for the gaslighter to take responsibility for their behavior and work towards changing it. Changing their behavior might involve seeking therapy to address any underlying issues contributing to their behavior and learning healthy communication strategies, prioritizing mutual respect and understanding. Narcissists will never do this, as they have a very set narrative in their head, and changing that narrative would threaten their false ego. Narcissists may have difficulty taking responsibility for their behavior and changing it because of their strong attachment to their self-image and the belief that they are always right. This belief makes it difficult or impossible for them to acknowledge their behavior's impact on others and seek help to address any underlying issues contributing to their behavior. Hoping that a narcissist will change is like waiting for a train that will never come. It can be frustrating and ultimately futile to hold on to the belief that a narcissist will change their behavior, especially if they resist seeking help or acknowledging the impact of their actions on others. A narcissistic personality disorder is a complex condition that is difficult to treat. Even with therapy and other forms of support, many narcissists may never fully overcome their narcissistic tendencies. It's essential to recognize that while individuals with narcissistic traits can make changes and improve their relationships, this differs from someone with narcissistic personality disorder and still often requires significant effort and willingness to take responsibility for their behavior. In the case of a narcissistic abuser, it's crucial to prioritize your safety and well-being and to seek support from trusted friends, family members, or mental health professionals to help you navigate the situation. Continuing to hope for change from a narcissist who is unwilling or unable to change can be harmful. It may prevent you from taking the steps necessary to protect yourself and move forward healthily. All of that being said, it's important to note that not all individuals who engage in gaslighting behavior are narcissists. Individuals with narcissistic traits can still benefit from therapy and other forms of support to address their behavior and improve their relationships. Additionally, changing behavior is a gradual process that may take time. It requires a willingness to reflect on one's behavior, identify improvement areas, and actively work to make changes. Actively working can involve seeking therapy, reading self-help materials, and practicing healthy communication strategies prioritizing mutual respect and understanding. Ultimately, it's up to each individual to decide what is best for their well-being and whether to continue a relationship with someone who engages in gaslighting behavior. It's important to prioritize self-care and seek support from trusted friends, family members, or mental health professionals to help navigate these complex situations. Overall, individuals must prioritize their well-being and take steps to protect themselves from gaslighting and other forms of emotional manipulation. To protect themselves from gaslighting, individuals can work on building their self-esteem and self-confidence. This might involve setting healthy boundaries for themselves with others, seeking support from trusted friends or family members, and practicing self-care activities like meditation or exercise. It's also crucial for individuals to be aware of the signs of gaslighting, such as being told they are crazy or irrational, feeling confused or disoriented, and having their feelings invalidated. These signs can help individuals identify when they are being gaslit and take steps to protect themselves. One should note that a narcissist can accuse someone of gaslighting them, even though they are the ones engaging in gaslighting behavior. This accusation is because narcissists often have a distorted sense of reality and tend to project their behavior onto others. They see themselves as the victim and believe that others intentionally try to manipulate or control them, even when this is not the case, since they have that narrative in their head. It's important to note that gaslighting is a form of emotional abuse, and it's not uncommon for abusers to use tactics like blame shifting and projection to deflect attention away from their behavior and onto their victim. Suppose you are in a situation where you are being accused of gaslighting by a narcissist. In that case, it's essential to trust your perceptions and seek support from trusted friends, family members, or mental health professionals to help you navigate the situation. Of course, seeking professional assessment is always good to ensure you aren't a narcissist. If someone suspects they may have narcissistic tendencies or narcissistic personality disorder, they may consider taking a self-assessment or seeking a professional evaluation from a mental health provider. Here are some self-assessments that someone can take if they suspect they may have narcissistic traits. 1. Narcissistic Personality Inventory, NPI. This is a widely used self-assessment tool that measures the presence and severity of narcissistic traits. The NPI consists of 40 items that ask about attitudes, beliefs, and behaviors related to self-esteem, entitlement, and admiration seeking. 2. Millen Clinical Multi-Axial Inventory, MCMI. The MCMI is a comprehensive psychological assessment tool with a narcissistic personality disorder scale. A mental health professional typically administers this assessment. 3. Minnesota Multiphasic Personality Inventory, MMPI. The MMPI is another widely used assessment tool that includes a scale for narcissism. This assessment is also typically administered by a mental health professional. It's important to note that self-assessments are not a substitute for a professional evaluation, and a licensed mental health professional should only diagnose narcissistic personality disorder. If someone suspects they may have narcissistic traits, seeking support from a mental health provider can be a helpful step in understanding their behavior and developing strategies for improving their relationships and overall well-being. Learn how to recognize the signs of gaslighting and differentiate it from other situations. Gaslighting can severely affect a victim's mental health and well-being, making it crucial to use the term accurately. Unintentional gaslighting can also be harmful, and individuals must be aware of their words and actions' impact on others. If someone has experienced gaslighting, they must recognize it and set boundaries with the gaslighter to protect themselves from further harm. The gaslighter needs to take responsibility for their behavior and work towards changing it, although narcissists may have difficulty doing so. Sources used for this article are as follows. American Family Physician, 2016. Assessment and Diagnosis of Personality Disorders. In American Family Physician, pages 522-528. Burgo, J., 2015. The Narcissist. You know, defending yourself against extreme narcissists in an all-about-me age. Touchstone, Healthline. Gaslighting, What It Is and What to Do About It. Mayo Clinic. Gaslighting, A Form of Emotional Abuse. Mayo Clinic, 2020. Narcissistic Personality Disorder. Mayo Clinic, 2020. Narcissistic Personality Disorder, Diagnosis and Treatment. Psychology Today. Gaslighting, Know It, Identify It, and Protect Yourself. Psychology Today, 2017. The Art of Gaslighting. Psychology Today. Self-Assessment, Am I Narcissistic? The National Domestic Violence Hotline. What is Gaslighting? Malkin C., 2020. Why Narcissists Don't Change and What You Can Do About It. In Psychology Today.